Scattered across the oceans lie abandoned islands, once vibrant, now reclaimed by nature. These silent sentinels hold stories of triumph, tragedy, and mystery, frozen in time. Join us as we uncover the haunting pasts of the world's most intriguing deserted islands. Off the coast of Nagasaki lies a haunting silhouette, Hashima Island. Known more famously as Gunkanjima, or Battleship Island, its profile resembles a warship rising from the sea. But beneath that hardened exterior is a story of ambition, labor, and abandonment. In the early 20th century, Hashima was a beacon of Japan's industrial might. Rich in undersea coal deposits, the island became a vital cog in the nation's rapid modernization. Mitsubishi bought the island in 1890 and transformed it into a fortress of productivity. Coal was king, and Hashima was its throne. At its peak, over 5,000 people lived on this tiny speck of land, making it one of the most densely populated places on Earth. Families, workers, and children shared cramped apartments stacked like concrete puzzle pieces. Narrow corridors twisted through the buildings like veins, connecting lives in a vertical cityscape. Life was tough. The sea raged around them and typhoons battered the island, yet the community endured. Schools, shops, even a cinema brought a sense of normalcy to this isolated industrial outpost. Despite the harsh conditions, Hashima thrived until the coal began to run dry. In the 1970s, Japan shifted its energy focus from coal to petroleum. The mines were no longer profitable. Practically overnight, the island was evacuated. Families packed up their lives and left behind a city frozen in time. What remained was a ghost town, an entire civilization left to decay. The buildings, once filled with life and laughter, now stood hollow, their concrete bones exposed to the elements. The sea, once a source of sustenance, now gnawed at the island's edges. Salt-laced winds whipped through shattered windows. Rusted rebar juts from crumbling walls. The island is slowly being reclaimed by nature, its structures groaning under the weight of time and neglect. Today, seabirds nest where miners once toiled. Their cries echo through the empty halls, a haunting chorus in a place where machines once roared. Nature has moved in, filling the void left by human departure. Hashima stands as a stark reminder of the impermanence of progress, a place where human ambition reached its peak and then vanished. The skyline, once a symbol of industrial triumph, now crumbles under the weight of forgotten dreams. It is a monument not just to industry, but to the cost of relentless growth, a place where concrete met the sea and lost. The contrast between the vast ocean and the decaying structures is a visual poem of rise and fall. The silence here is deafening. It speaks louder than any machine ever did. Hashima is no longer a place of work, but a place of memory, a ghost of industrial Japan, whispering stories to those who dare to listen. In the Venetian lagoon lies Poveglia, an island steeped in death and despair. During the Black Death it became a mass quarantine site. Thousands perished here. Their remains were burned or buried, their presence still felt in the soil. In the 20th century it became a mental asylum, adding madness to its legacy. Tales of abuse and ghostly apparitions haunt its crumbling walls. Legend says a tormented doctor leapt from the bell tower, driven mad by spirits. Today locals avoid it, calling it cursed. Poveglia remains untouched, a chilling relic of suffering and fear, a place where history refuses to rest. Just off the bustling shores of New York City lies a forgotten island, hidden in plain sight, North Brother Island. Once a place of strict isolation, it now lies silent, swallowed by nature's relentless advance. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, this island served as a quarantine station for immigrants arriving with contagious diseases. It was a place of both hope and heartbreak, where dreams of a new life in America were either paused or ended. For some, it was a temporary stop on the journey to freedom. They recovered, stepped off the island, and began new lives filled with promise and opportunity. But for others, the island was the end of the road. Disease claimed them before they could ever set foot on the mainland. Their stories ended here, in quiet rooms and unmarked graves. Tragedy struck again in 1904, when the General Slocum steamship caught fire. Over 1,000 lives were lost, and the island's shores became a grim resting place for the victims. Over time, the island was abandoned. Its buildings, once filled with doctors, nurses, and patients, began to crumble. The walls that once echoed with cries and whispers now stand in eerie silence. Nature crept in slowly, vines snaking through broken windows, trees sprouting from hospital floors, and birds nesting in the rafters where patients once lay. Today, North Brother Island is a haunting blend of history and rebirth. The ruins stand as monuments to the past, while the thriving greenery tells a story of resilience. Wildlife has returned, raccoons, herons, and even rare plant species now call this place home. Life, in all its forms, has found a way to reclaim what was once lost. North Brother Island reminds us that even in the shadow of death, life persists, and in the end, nature always reclaims what we leave behind. Okunoshima, a small island nestled in Japan's Seto Inland Sea, is often called Rabbit Island for a reason. It's home to hundreds of wild rabbits that roam freely, hopping along forest trails and approaching visitors with curious eyes and twitching noses. But behind the island's gentle charm and playful creatures lies a haunting past, one that few tourists ever learn about. During World War II, Okunoshima was removed from maps and shrouded in secrecy. It became the site of a covert military operation, Japan's chemical weapons program. Here, poison gas was manufactured in silence. Workers, many unaware of the true nature of their task, toiled in dangerous conditions. The deadly gases produced were used in warfare, leaving a legacy of suffering. After the war, the factories were dismantled, the records destroyed, and the island's role in chemical warfare was buried, both literally and figuratively. For decades, the truth remained hidden beneath layers of vegetation and silence. Today, families visit Okunoshima to feed the rabbits, unaware that beneath the soil lie remnants of a toxic past. The island has reinvented itself as a peaceful retreat, but its history lingers in the shadows. The contrast is jarring: innocence above, horror below. The same ground that now hosts picnics and laughter once echoed with the footsteps of scientists and soldiers. Okunoshima is a living paradox. Nature has reclaimed the land, wrapping its greenery around rusted pipes and crumbling walls. Life flourishes where death was once manufactured. Some signs and memorials now acknowledge the island's past, but many visitors pass them by, focused on the rabbits. The island's dual identity remains, part sanctuary, part silent witness to war. Okunoshima reminds us that beauty can be deceptive. Beneath the golden sunsets and soft fur lies a history of pain, secrecy, and survival. And in our rush to move forward, we must ask, what are we choosing to forget? In the Bay of Bengal lies Ross Island, once a jewel of British colonial ambition. Grand homes, a ballroom, and manicured gardens once defined this tropical outpost. But in 1941, a powerful earthquake shattered its foundations. The British evacuated and the jungle surged in to reclaim its territory. Vines now strangle stone walls and banyan trees burst through tiled floors. Ross Island is a vivid portrait of nature's quiet revenge, a place where colonial dreams were swallowed by roots and rain. The ghosts of empire linger in the ruins, whispering of power lost to time, and the jungle listens, growing stronger with every passing year. Clipperton Island, a remote atoll in the Pacific, was once a beacon of hope. Settlers arrived to mine guano, building a small, thriving community. But when World War I cut off supply lines, the island became a prison. Starvation and disease took hold, and desperation turned to horror. By the time rescue came in 1917, only a few survivors remained. Clipperton's story is one of isolation turned deadly, a paradise undone by distance and neglect. Its beaches are now empty, but the echoes of suffering remain, a stark warning of how fragile human resilience can be. Deception Island, in Antarctica, is a volcanic crescent cloaked in ice and steam. Once a hub for whalers and sealers, its harbor bustled with life. But eruptions and brutal weather made survival nearly impossible. As the whaling industry declined, the island was abandoned. Rusting boilers and skeletal buildings now dot the frozen landscape. Tourists and scientists visit, drawn by its eerie beauty. But the island hums with unease, as if the earth itself remembers. Deception Island is a place where fire meets ice, and history refuses to melt away. A reminder that even here at the edge of the world, the past lingers. From Hashima's concrete ruins to Clipperton's tragic silence, these islands reveal the fragile dance between humanity and nature. Each one tells a story of ambition, loss, and the relentless passage of time. Which island spoke to you? Let us know in the comments, Wave. And don't forget to subscribe for more journeys into the forgotten. Some places are abandoned for a reason, others we simply chose to forget.